Let me get the video going. I have a video. Oh, oh no. How do I play the video? Oh man, I had a video that I wanted to play. All right, never mind. Well, you know what? We'll play. We will play it at the end. Is what we'll do. I don't even know if are we live. Yeah, okay, cool. Um, let me get the. Let me get the. Let me get the. Let me get the tweet out because we do have. We do have. Do we have chat here?
I don't. I didn't see it.
Oh, we do. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
It's called interview chat. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen of the interwebs, welcome to the Beacon TVL show. I'm your host, Professor Chris, the DeFi professor. We've got the year-end show here. It's 2025, the last day of 2025, and we weren't going to do this live, but I figured, you know what? If I'm going to do a recap show, I checked to see if my friends here were available. They just happened to be, so we might as well have two of the best panelists that we've had from this year back on the show for the last one. So, welcome to the person to my right. That would be ecosystem team from Talisman Wallet. Robert, how are you, sir?
I'm good, buddy. Uh,
Yeah, you got hired this year,
hap-
brother.
I did. That's right. Yeah. Finally,
Uh,
yeah.
Finally.
And yeah, excited for the new year. Excited to put this year behind us. Not in a bad way, but just excited for the change.
Exactly. To his right, we have got a very fantastic creator. Met him back in Salt Lake City in 2024. And then in Austin, I met both Robert and Ken up in Austin for BitTensor Endgame back in, was it April? Yeah, April. That was a fun time. We got the Lord of DevRel himself from Taushi. Ken, how are you, sir?
Ooh,
Oh
let me
God,
not
got him,
choke
got
on
him
my
mid
car.
swallow, got him mid swallow.
I'm good. Yeah, I too am happy to put this year behind me. It's been a up and down year. It's been a weird year. Just like just one week, one crazy thing after the next this year, good and bad. But we're coming out the other side, and we made it to 2026. I made it another year. We made it another year. So got to be happy for that. But I'm excited. I'm excited to be on the last episode of the year with you fine gentlemen. You guys are some of my favorites that we talked to on this, so on TVL. So I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, brother. Yeah, we've had some interesting ups and downs this year.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
go. We're gonna go into. We won't go into the personal stuff, but we will talk about just a little bit of. We'll talk a little bit about what this year has kind of meant for us, and what I will say is we were just talking before I came on before we got on live. I just happened to because we just got back from going out of town for Christmas. First time I've done that in 25 years. I've been away
Mhm.
from my actual home to go somewhere else with family for Christmas. That was pretty crazy. So the drive was long, but it was a good drive. I learned a lot about myself and my tolerance for fighting children, and how to keep people silent and locking in on driving for 11 hours or however long it was each way. But yeah,
Yeah.
tell you what,
How
man.
did you sustain? Like, what was some of your activities that you?
You know what? It was a lot of conversations with my wife. What I did get
Mhm.
before we left, I ordered one of those little car because we have an older minivan, right? So uh, I bought one of those 9 inch or 10 inch CarPlay. It was like 1024 by 600 displays,
Uh-huh.
touchscreen. Just planted that on the dash, hooked that up to my phone, and we listened to a whole bunch of music and allowed the girls to use my hotspot so they could have their iPads open, playing whatever silly game that they're playing, which I think is at this point is the Granny game. If anyone's ever heard of the Granny game, they love playing
The
that.
granny game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I took some time to play some retro games. That was good. I was able to play a little bit of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
Yeah, that was good. That's a good game.
Now,
That's a long time.
did you upscale it?
It is upscale. Yeah, yeah. So I play
Oh
it two
man.
ways. I have my Retroid Pocket 5, but I actually like to play it on my iPad Mini with my GameSir controller. So it,
Oh man.
it plays retro games really nicely on the iPad Mini. So if you guys are looking for a platform for that, do that. But anyway, I was going to say
Nice.
that this is a sweater from Structure. Structure used to be the if you know your mall shopping, it was the male brand from Express, and yeah, this thing is officially 32 years old. Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, we were listening to music because my wife put in because we also have a CD player. My wife put in a CD that I made for mixtapes and stuff, but I'm in a mixed CD,
Yeah.
complete with the little things that said the title. I love my wife and her name on
Man.
there, and
Okay.
yeah, no, it's
Nice.
crazy. And the craziest
Made a
part,
CD in forever.
I know, I burned a CD with all the metadata in it, and it was taking me back, and I was just like, and my daughters were like, "What song is this?" I'm like, "This is a 35-year-old song." I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So
It's like teenage Chris coming back.
it is. It is. So it's more like, well, now I'm aging myself. I'm in my in my early 20s. Um, so if I'm sitting there just serenading my wife with 98 degrees, that's how old some of this
Oof.
music was. I know, but no, it was a good time.
98 degrees.
Spent some time in the Colorado mountains, got to see some 14ers, and it was a good time. How about you, Robert? How has this year been for you? What would you say would be the even with your holidays, like what's been the prime memory that you got this year?
This year, I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely getting hired was a talisman was great. It's been great. Uh, yeah, it's a really solid project to be involved with. So that was
I
like a
think you have
big,
some
obviously.
echo, actually, brother. You may have to put on some headphones.
Okay. All right. Ken, go first, and I'll come back.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
What was the man? So many crazy things happened this year. This was like my, I mean, that they have like they're coming. Well, I guess this is a terrible analogy. I'm just gonna say coming of age, but I'm like 35, so it's not my coming of age year, so it doesn't work. But this is a year where so many things have like just happened. Got a dog, went to Africa, filmed in France, um, got rugged severely, but then came back in a different way, and then really started putting my content out there. So it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint which of those was because they all kind of had like their own spiritual backside that wasn't that I learned from. Getting a dog has been awesome because it's helped me learn responsibility, I guess, if you want to call it. Going to Africa was beautiful just because of the people there, and we were kind of in the bush. Filming in France was cool just because it taught me a lot. Messed up a couple things, but that helped me. So, all in all, probably just happy that me, my wife, my partner, kind of went through it all. And I have someone by my side to, the ups and the downs, and we're still trucking. And it's either 7 or 8 years, one of those. We've been married, so it's we're still trucking. Have a partner through it all. That's what I'm probably happy about.
And you're wearing a Seinfeld shirt.
That's our nighttime before we go to sleep. We just throw on some Seinfeld, just have it
The
on in the
moment the moment
background
I
while I'm
saw
playing a
like the
game.
top part, I'm like, oh, he's wearing a Seinfeld shirt. There's some layers to that.
Yeah, love Seinfeld. But yeah, all in all, I would probably rate this a solid 7.4 out of 10 year. Maybe I gotta bump it up a little bit.
Maybe so.
Does it? Yeah, I might have to bump it up a little. Let me do an 8.1. Final
Okay.
answer 8.1 year. Yeah, just solid.
How about you, Robert?
The rating?
No, no, just with
Like,
regards to you were gonna start, but then you were
oh yeah.
echoing. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it better now?
yeah, yeah, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. So that was a great milestone. Getting onto the Talisman team officially, and yeah, I just not to bury the lead, but in terms of the market, it's been pretty up and pretty rough, pretty up and down. So that's like kind of the background of everything. But personally, it was a great year. Yeah, like professionally, personally, went to Europe for a few months. That was pretty amazing.
Mhm.
Uh, you know,
Where'd you
Paris,
go?
Berlin. I went to Paris for a month. Berlin for like 6 weeks. Vienna for a week. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Man, nice.
Um,
The beauty of
yeah, it was a
working in
pretty.
this industry, gentlemen, is it not?
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
Love it. Love it.
So there was definitely like a lot of highlights to look back on and be excited about. So
Yeah,
yes,
we're
yeah, I would
definitely
say it was
going
a
to
really
have. Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
no. I'd say it was a really good year. I would give it like an 8.3. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're.
yeah.
What's interesting when you mention all that is like we're going to have some new content coming up in the next couple of weeks. Specifically, one called "Getting Your House in Order," which is going to be all about staying safe. I was, I was featured in a tweet by Seal, which was kind of crazy. Um,
The artist.
no, 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 no. Oh, you haven't. You guys haven't seen this, right?
You
Um,
said Seal. I was thinking, yeah, the artist too, but
oh, I
Kiss from a
wish.
Rose.
you should
Let
remix
me
that,
let me
Robert. I bet you
find.
should play that sometime. Oof, man.
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
find.
I like
Okay,
a
yeah,
I
house
need to
this
see
remix.
that.
it's
Yeah.
this tweet. And shout out to Taylor from MetaMask and from Seal. People were reaching out to me with this on you can't see my cursor apparently, but I'm circling over my face over here because people are just like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? They're like, why are you on Tevano's tweet? And I'm like, what do you mean? And this was from July, uh, specifically with July, and this is all about the how people were getting rugged. How funny! How funny that people are totally going after my style. Look at me! Look! People are biting my. Oh, I love it! I love it! I'm going. I've become a meme. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, I mean, there you go. I mean, that's what you want. You want to
I
become a
know.
meme, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
So, it's funny. People have actually wait a minute. That's my background and everything.
Did
That's
they AI that?
hilarious. That's AI'd. I sat there. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is Beacon in the background? I'm like,
Wow.
that's me. That's crazy.
Wow.
Okay. So anyway, we're gonna have a special on that. But with that said, let's kind of talk about how this year has gone because it's kind of hard to believe that at this point Trump has only been in office for a year. Like, if you think about everything that's going on, it feels like the man's been in office for 3 years already. He's only
For
been in. This is
real.
his first year, and to bring it back, he was not in office when DeFi really started. Like, he wasn't president during COVID. I mean, all of this stuff that we talk about, we like put together with DeFi. I mean, he wasn't president then, but what I did want to bring up is a couple things. First, let's look at the year with regards to BTC because we always talk about how BTC is the tide that raises all ships, right, guys? So, looking at where we were specifically, back around the beginning of the year, let's call it here. So, the beginning of the year, we were at 90K Bitcoin. We've gone down, but then we've also retraced, hit the all-time high multiple times, set brand like 6 or 7 new ATHs. We saw ETH go up to 5K nearly, and then now we're back down to this level at around 87. We're very much in this higher high lower higher low lower high deal, which is, if you look at this wedge, it's actually kind of interesting. So in any case, to see where we've come, where we're like at the bottom and now we're back up to the top, is kind of crazy. So uh, I'll start with you, Robert. Do you think this is the way that the year was supposed to go?
Definitely not. No, I think.
Uh,
I think no, no. I think not at all. No, I think everyone expected like some kind of not blow off top type thing heading into Q4 because 2025 was such a brutal year for pretty much everything. for Bitcoin and Ethereum at certain points. Um, yeah, everyone expected some kind of like you know bull run that kind of woke up everything like towards the end of the year, and instead what we got was the October 10th liquidations. So like that totally flipped the script basically. And yeah, I think it's pretty much the opposite of what everybody expected.
What
Yeah,
about
we were
you,
supposed
Ken?
to be in Monaco right now, fellas.
I
Yeah,
know.
It's
exactly.
like, yeah, I mean, I still can't believe, I remember where I was where something happened. Trump tweeted something and my meme coins dropped. This was in late 2024. And like I was thinking that I was like, yeah, I know this crypto environment. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna ride this wave in 2025, and then we're gonna be chilling on a beach in Monaco at the end of this year because it's just gonna go up. But yeah, I definitely think we haven't went the way we expected. But obviously, we have people mucking in it. But I think that could just bode well for the next year. We'll see. I'm kind of optimistic as far as it goes. But definitely not the way I think we expected it to go at all.
Yeah, because I think some people thought this is supposed to be a golden bull run, right? I think that was the original idea, that this was going to be the most amazing bull run of our lives, right? This was going to be the biggest one before a hard
Yeah.
landing, and then possibly something else, and then the market just going to absolute, booty cakes in 2028. But uh, you could see it. You could see it two ways, right? So, and this is how I explained it to somebody else. It's that for the first 4 years up into this year, after that last halving in 2020, you had innovation, right? You had disruption. You had all of these things to bring
Mhm.
DeFi to where it's at now. And then this year, after Trump came into office, created a pro crypto administration environment, now you have the integration phase, right? We've cleared the way for institutions to come in. So if anything, institutions came, they front ran retail, and essentially they just got into accumulation phase. We have, I don't know, I think the number here for crypto treasury apps is well into, I thought I had one here. Well, it's very large, is the number that I would say. There's at least, oh, there it is. I mean, there's at least 100 digital asset treasury companies now. If we think about, if you combine them all, there's like 50 that are just Bitcoin. Now, some of them have kind of dropped off, right? If we look at the colors of the MCAP to NAV ratio, with regards to market cap and net asset value, there are some that are in a lot of trouble, right, with regards to their share prices and how things are going. So we'll see specifically how that goes. But with regards to ETH companies, Sol companies, even Tau, BNB, and Hype companies, they're still trucking. They're still going to be producing a new age of financial services, fintech here in Web3. It's all about everything else that's going to go around it. But with Bitcoin where it's at, I think to me still the biggest thing that happened this year, guys, is the Trump meme coin launch. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was that Friday where you had the official
It's
presidential ball
wild.
for his inauguration, and it was like, I mean, I know a lot of people were out that night. I was not, but I was out. I think I was out with dinner. I had a date night with my wife, which was kind of ironic for the last time something crazy happened. But someone had texted me. I think it was Keiko, and he's like, "Is this really happening?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'll have to ask." And people were kind of confused because he just kind of stealth launched it. And then people just started kind of running through, and within I think 10 minutes, it was up above 2 billion in market cap.
It's crazy.
Right. So,
Crazy.
and again,
Mhm.
this doesn't show the full extent of it, but regardless, this was a very polarizing event for three reasons. One, the team from the Trump team put together a Trump meme coin, released it 3 days, 2 days, yeah, technically 2.5 days before inauguration. They used Solana for this, by the way, because they partnered very quietly with Meteora with Jupiter and MoonPay to make this happen. So the fact that it all came together and they did it on Solana is crazy. Good for them. I mean, Phantom Wallet I think was behind by like 8 hours at one point because of how many people were trying to get in. So this, I mean, at one point Trump was looking. I mean, Trump was I think I'll, I think I bought Trump at $60. Right. So for people who became millionaires overnight by this in January, congrats. Obviously, we're in a much different place. Market cap is now under 1 billion. But if this next event didn't happen, where do you think we would be? And that event I'm talking about is Melania's launch. This happened on
Oh my
that Sunday,
gosh.
2 days later. Literally like a $5 wrench attack. Just caused just a huge dip in the market. There was already liquidity being pulled from all EVM chains, bridging over to and just all chains everywhere for people to buy Trump on Solana because that's where it happened. The Omni chain, the Omni fungible Omni chain version from Layer Zero hadn't happened yet at that point. But Melania came, blew up. There's also Barron, Eric. There's a couple different Trump family members that tried to meme coin their way up. But yeah, this to me this was like the beginning of the end of all of it because this really ate into the attention that the Trump coin was getting. So I guess I'll start with you, Robert. If that didn't happen, where do you think we would be right now? Because it was an independent team, which happened to be the Libre guys. Not Hayden Davis. That's Uniswap. Hayden Smith. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that was peak meme coin,
Yeah.
basically. You know, it's
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
market. It's like that market that sort of market top event that just kind of crushes things, basically. You know, the top signal event, I should say. That kind of like is where things start to decline, basically.
It
So
certainly
like,
felt that way, did it not? Ken, what did you think?
Yeah, I was frustrated, man, because I was in this crypto meme coin project, and I was making videos for him. So I was really trying to push this thing. And then I was like, well, if I'm gonna push this thing to the top, because obviously I had money in it, so I was trying to push it myself, be a part of the community. But then when Melania and all that stuff came out, I was frustrated because it started to pop off, and then it just all those things suck liquidity out of the different tokens, and it just kind of, yeah, it was a top event. In hindsight, hindsight's 2020. Those coins, that was just a top. So
Yeah.
I was really frustrated because it postponed my trip to Monaco. Um, but I think I remember that day I was at this vintage bazaar here in North Carolina, and I was just checking in. Boom! It just things kept dropping as I was at the bazaar. Couldn't do anything because I was helping some friends set up. But yeah, it was a frustrating time, to say the least. And I told myself I was never gonna touch meme coins, and I did, and I got burned.
And these are the things that kind of happen, right? What was interesting is that we were getting up until that time. So for anybody who follows us, you know that we were really big on AI agents. That was kind of the big play. You had Cerebro, you had AI16Z, Citadel, Fartcoin. You had all of these things just kind of flourishing in a very interesting way through Pump.Fun and all these other protocols and ecosystems. This just kind of cut that off at the knees. I mean, we saw Cerebro and some of those drop 95% in a weekend, and it kind of really just really just threw a
Killed
huge,
it.
yeah, it just killed it, right? Because it wasn't just Solana. You also had Base, where Virtuals was a huge uproar. I'm not uproar, but a huge groundswell of support for that type of stuff back in around with this time last year. So yeah, it was a huge, just a terrible thing.
And I actually think there were some interesting projects there. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
virtuals. There was some the the what's the where do crypto and some of these AI agents align? And I think it was kind of in an explorative phase at that moment. And I think the innovation still kind of stopped once, those meme coins came out because there were some really interesting things that I thought that would still kind of find its place, but once money kind of came out of it, people they and maybe well there's obviously still people building in the background, but yeah, there was some interesting stuff coming out of that.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, there was a lot of movement after that to try and kickstart things, right? So, and this is just because you guys do have BitTensor exposure. We had the Ventura hard fork in February, right before ETH Denver, which kind of led to a very interesting ETH Denver. Wasn't nearly as big as previous ETH Denvers. It was bigger than last year's, just because it was the one in 2024. Was right after that huge crash. So a lot of there was a lot of hope, a lot of hopium, a lot of builders trying to build, but it wasn't nearly as big as the one in 2023. But yeah, and I think moving forward, that came to that brought a lot of interesting advances that came at conferences. I don't have it up here, but Catstanbull from Jupiter, they had their first ever uh, annual conference. That was in January, and then BitTensor Endgame that happened in April. That was the first ever
Hmm.
BitTensor.
Yeah,
And it was,
Mm.
to be fair, it was a very small event. It was just in one venue. But at the time, I think that's all it really needed to be. But we got to hear
yeah,
about,
it was chill.
yeah, it was super chill, right? The idea of having a conference about decentralized AI and what it means for builders. I learned so much just from being around you guys and just seeing the other subnets that were there. Um, to me, it gave me a lot of hope with the rebound for what AI is going to be moving forward. So I'll start with you on that, Ken. What was your thoughts specifically from the first half of the year with regards to conferences and just how decentralized AI kind of was able to steady the ship, even though there are a lot of other niches, at least in the DeFi realm, that kind of died after Trump and Melania came through.
Yeah, there's something with the Trump and Melania and all the meme coins, and I had a bunch of friends who were traditional DeFi, kind of like, hey, we're not going to buy meme coins because we've been in crypto long enough and we want fundamentals. So I think a lot of people returned back to the fundamentals, and um there was that little push. There was like a sucking of a lot of people out of the market and then some injection into these other areas. And I think with AI, there's still some pretty interesting stuff coming out. And I think Tau for one, obviously, I'm in Tau, of course, but I think at the beginning of the year with the AI coins and people still trying to find their place, yeah, I think there's a lot of innovation there. And I think still a lot of innovation happening, and we're trying to settle. And well, it takes a while to settle, but I think that was pretty positive. A lot of positive stuff come out from the AI side. I gotta let my dog out, so I'll be right back.
Very good. What about you, Robert?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of promise, like conceptually, like you were saying in that, like also Ken, in that first iteration of like DeFi AI. But it was very very raw, like conceptually. Um, but I think there might be, along with like obviously with Tau, with BitTensor Tau, and a few of the top subnets. And then also I think there are like, well, Talisman for one is building a DeFi AI wallet. Also, where we have our own subnet now, with along with Rizzo, and so we're building that out, and it's like an actual real product. And so I've also noticed, like on my radar, that there's a few other wallets out there that are building out like actually real products that have like, yeah, DeFi AI dashboards and things like that. So like in that first run in late 2024, very beginning of 2025, like there were some conceptually interesting things, but like a lot of it was vaporware. And I think it's totally possible that that might enter like a real proper product slash utility phase, like at the beginning of this year or beginning of 2026.
Yeah. What I will do now, since we're kind of in the back half of the show, is I'll kind of go through specifically some of the other big things that are really just huge for this year, just to kind of give people some ideas. Because what we're doing is we're kind of recapping the year. What I thought was very interesting, specifically, is that this year, guys, was a huge year
I can't hear you, Chris.
Yeah, something went out.
Sorry, I don't know what I did. Um,
Yeah.
but regardless, this year is huge for crypto M&As or merger and acquisitions. So at the end of last year, we started with Stripe buying Bridge, which was a huge stablecoin issuer at the time, really just on the idea that if President Trump got elected, there would be some pro crypto legislation coming. And that's really why uh, DFDV did the Sol ETF, XRP ETFs were kind of put together. And those still aren't approved, by the way, by the SEC, but we're getting there. But with regards to M&As, Coinbase bought Deribit, a huge derivatives exchange. Stripe buys Privy, making it supremely easy to create a wallet. And this was something that had to happen, in my opinion, to really just kind of push things forward. The other thing that was huge also from this year is that Coinbase decided to throw their hat in the ring. Besides buying Deribit, they also bought Vector, which was a meme coin platform on Solana, just took the entire team. Um, they also bought Kobe's Echo platform to bring crowdsourced launch pads and accredited investment to get in early on deal flow to the masses. I don't know what they're doing with this. They also paid 25. I think they paid total 30 million because they paid 25 million dollars for Kobe and Ledger's first season of Up Only podcast, which has the banger in it where they had both Do Kwon, Martin Shkreli, and Sam Bankman-Fried all on one screen. I was there live for that. That was an unbelievable moment in 2023. Yeah, that was nuts. Regardless, um, yeah, I mean, we had a huge number of M&As, and then there were more M&As across multiple ecosystems. Just a lot of projects probably running out of runway and then getting caught up and acquired by different entities. So we saw the first stage of consolidation, guys, right? Because, I mean, Robert, you guys kind of merged with Rizzo in a way for a strategic initiative. We saw a lot of that during this year. So the question I'll start with you is, do you think we'll see more of this moving forward, especially for projects that have been around? And we're already seeing it. I've seen at least 20 different announcements in the last 2 weeks of projects kind of closing up shop because they just ran out of runway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the Coinbase one was interesting because, like, yeah, people were like noticed that they bought Echo, but then didn't do anything with it. So, like,
Well,
uh,
yeah, we thought we were going to do that with the Monad launch, but they didn't use it. So, yeah, you're right.
right, yeah, exactly, yeah. But yeah, no, I see that happening. I do see like, yeah, a general trend of consolidation happening there because I mean, in order for like these projects to like find a proper market fit, I think there's going to be some clear winners and some murders along the way that kind of lead to that. Like, and even on touching on the whole Rizzo deal, and they said this publicly as well. Like, they're also working with DNA to develop like a DAT
Mm.
for top subnets, which includes subnet 45. So I think that trend will continue as well, like the DAT trend as well. So
I forgot I have a sound. Sorry,
that was
that was
intense. Yeah.
that was intense. I apologize.
I was like, what? I was
Again,
like,
I'm gonna keep moving on with some of the other trends from this year. The one that's interesting, and I'm still waiting. I'm curious to see how this is going to work with BitTensor specifically, because I think there's a lot of signals that can go that way. Besides, and we'll get to perp dexes in a minute, but I think the biggest part, at least from June down to now, is the rise specifically of prediction markets. Right? I don't know if this was something that was going to be on my bingo card specifically. And it wasn't, it happened very quickly, specifically in the case of Kalshi. But the Polymarket one, they're both calculated. They've been around. I mean, Kalshi's been around since 2018. Polymarket's been around for 4 years. It was on Polygon. It was on Polygon blockchain. Blew up a bit right before the election, and now, like just in October, the volume on Polymarket and Kalshi combined was more than everything ever in existence on prediction markets ever combined cumulatively. So, I mean, we're seeing huge partnerships. Polymarket has New York Stock Exchange. They have Google. They have quite a few others. Kalshi has CNN. They have Yahoo. They have, I think it's MS Now is the other one as well. It's kind of crazy to see how ultimately what people look at as sports betting or event betting is becoming an unbiased source of truth, if you think about it that way, which I think is, frankly, insane. So, I don't know. Culturally, this is crazy, in my opinion, that it's kind of come to this. We're going to be in a situation where live polling in this way is probably going to be a norm from 2026 on. What do you think?
Ken or me?
Ken, sorry.
I will say I'm not. Excuse me. I'm not fully. I think these. I mean, they've definitely blown up. I mean, you're hearing about this stuff all the time. There's even, I think Kalshi or one of the teams I think have worked with subnets. And that was a huge thing. I think Score or Sports
I think it's
Tensor has a
Kalshi.
partnership with one. Excuse me. So these things are definitely blowing up, and you see, you're hearing about it left and right. Sports betting. People are definitely going to these things. This is something that I haven't dig the most, have the most depth on, but I mean, they're obviously huge, and I think it's only going to get bigger and better. And where it's going to be plugged into which systems is yet to be seen. But it's fascinating at the least. I was just looking at Poly Market for this game that's currently going on right now, but just to see the score. But yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to continue to blow up, but it's definitely huge.
Yeah, I mean, one thing too that's interesting, Robert, is just the ability
Mm.
for, pardon me, people to create arbitrage opportunities, right? So we're seeing people using bots to make, and again, probably people don't know this. People are making tons of money with bots on Polymarket and Kalshi to run up these numbers. So it's like there's a wash to this, but there's also
Mhm.
just the interesting idea that there's already like, and granted this is an older pool, but the fact that you can have millions of dollars literally just tied up in stuff like this is fascinating. And you can play the odds and hedge your bets, and people are coming out ahead. So, um, is it gambling? I don't know. I mean, we're just predicting,
Mhm.
but with all the tech now behind it, because on Polymarket, on Ethereum, and Kalshi, which is now on Solana, anything that's on Kalshi is now tokenized. I don't know if you guys knew this. You can actually have actual token operations fully integrated on Solana with Kalshi events. Like that means they are first class citizens in the Solana ecosystem just like anything else. Which, if you think about the potential for that, the idea of being able to have um, even things like loans or you know perps, liquidity pools, these are all now possible thanks to all of these big brained individuals coming together and tokenizing all of this. So, yeesh, my gosh, I don't know, man.
It's
It's
so hard
crazy.
to wrap your head
Huge.
around it sometimes. That's like,
No,
yeah,
I
it's
know.
crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
2026 is going to
Yeah.
be crazy. I mean, we'll go ahead and talk about it now because this has a lot to do with it. But we saw a re-rise of AI agents, right? They got smarter. They got to this new idea where this time last year we were just happy that there was something like Vader on Virtuals, which was like it was a hedge fund manager that used AI agents to just check out other agents and buy them, and you had money like Creator.bid, big in the BitTensor ecosystem. Also, another place where you could spin up your own agent, thanks to all the work that was done a bit at ETH Denver earlier this year, to be able to spin up your own agent in like 3 minutes. No, that was last year. There's been a lot of movement since then. But now we have full consoles like at Brahma, where you can actually set up different strategies use the profits from that to pay for your Netflix subscription, pay for bills like your mortgage and stuff like that. You also have that with Eliza OS. They're creating a whole standard specifically for agents. And then you have our friends at Symphony, who's been on the podcast a couple times, where they've figured out a way to do not only just agentic bridging and swapping, but also trading. You can easily just hedge any bet that you want. Not when I say hedge your bet, like you can open up a short on Bitcoin with a native call. Doesn't matter what ecosystem you're in, because it finds the best one using intents on the backside. Regardless, we also have X402. This is being built in the open by Coinbase, allows AI agents. It's being pushed towards agents, but anyone can use X402 as a payment gateway using the HTTP 402 code to then have payments facilitated where you can actually pay for anything in crypto on the backside. We had MasterCard and we had Visa jump on this. Now we have full stablecoin settlement for not only users but merchants. That's available to anywhere MasterCard and Visa are available in digital payments. And it settles today. We didn't talk about PayPal. They also have the thing now where YouTube now pays out. You can, if you're a creator on YouTube, you can get paid in PYUSD, which is PayPal's stablecoin. You can just hold it in a PayPal account, earn 4% on it. It's crazy that we've come to this part in the simulation. That we have this now, that the big guys, and I talked to a couple of them when we were in New York for Permissionless. I talked to the head of product, the senior VP for MasterCard Move. It's amazing how they've made it so that, and this is after years of testing, by the way, guys, that this is the year they decided to move in with, I guess, with the Clarity Act. The Genius Act passing, back in August, I believe is what it was. I'm sorry, July. That it was able, that we now have stable coins that are legal. Now they're trying to run it up on both sides of the aisle to make it so the Market Structure Act is not going to really work well. But I mean, guys, we're now in a situation where what we've always kind of wanted from a regulatory standpoint is going to happen. It's all a matter of how is it all going to coalesce together into a healthier market, because the market has been nothing but healthy. It's been very volatile, not a friendly optic to most people looking from the outside in. So Ken, I'll start with you. Just talking about all of these things that have happened, and we'll get to our last piece in just a minute. But with all we talked about with payment rails, with AI agents, commerce has changed, and commerce is going to continue to evolve and be disrupted by all of this now, to where, I mean, we're okay with paying 2.99 to 3.25% on merchant fees, because that's just the way it is. It's not going to be that way anymore. X402, for the most part, if you own the facilitator, is free.
Yeah, I mean, I was just watching a video last night on, just I think we're in a transition phase, with AI, with crypto, with the government's involvement, and I think whether we at the 21st century now, we're just on a cusp of something new, some grand change, where AI's out, bioengineering and all that stuff. Now we have crypto, and I think 2026 is just going to continue to present. There's going to be a lot of change. I don't think we're going to settle even in 2026 on some of these things. Some things will settle, and they're going to just continue with the government, involvement. We're going to find more clarity, hopefully. But I think, yeah, we're on the trans. You know how they have like the Bronze Age and like the age of, like steam engines or whatnot. I don't know. And then we have the internet. I think we're at one of those crossroads now with AI and crypto and all that stuff. And I'm fascinated. My wife asked me yesterday. She was like, "Would you want to live forever?" I'm like, "Well, you know, I would like to see how this all turns out. It'd be kind of cool to see what 50, 60, 70 years down the line, so I got to keep taking my supplements. But yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for 2026. And this year was also a very interesting year as well. So to 2026, fellas.
Yeah, I got to meet Brian Johnson, the longevity guy, and all he talked about was sleep.
Yeah.
Brother talked about sleep. No carbs and sleep. It's kind
No
of funny.
cards and sleep.
I know. What do you think? What do you think, Robert?
I think I think in terms of like playing the market, for example, with AI agents or tooling or the rails for agents making payments to each other and to humans as well. I think it's gonna be like that whole infrastructure is gonna be like how do people get the edge? I
Yeah.
think I think like not using AI tooling will be a death sentence to your trading. Like you're gonna have to use something, you know.
Yeah, good
But
point.
I think
Ken knows
what's
about that.
curious for well, what's curious for me is like as part of a team that's kind of building something like that, it's like like it does reach a critical mass at some point or a saturation point where if everyone is using the same AI tooling, then where's the edge, right? So that's the big question mark for me that I think is I'm curious to see how it plays out. I mean, will some uh, you know dashboards and tools and wallets be more efficient than others at playing the market? You know, maybe the edge will be there. Like you'll have to choose the best tool. But yeah, it's going to be all based around that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think having the right service, the right source of truth, is going to be a
Hmm.
huge advantage. I think there's gonna. I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna have some services coming up soon that are going to be a big player in what happens. It all just kind of depends on how that all plays out. So, the other thing that I wanted to talk about that was huge this year, specifically, was what happened with perp dexes. Uh, I
Hmm.
remember, I keep saying this, I remember it like it was yesterday, back in March when Hyper EVM launched. I was on Telegram talking to Keiko about this, and we were trying to bridge over money through Arbitrum to go buy Hype at $2. Hmm, that was anyway. So that was the first part, but the other part is Hyper Liquid, which is a perp dex. It's the largest perp dex now by volume, by activity, uh, regularly on their own blockchain. Technically, they're a Cosmos Layer 1 with 100,000 TPS, but the front door to Hyperliquid Core comes through, well, it kind of still goes through Arbitrum. But they now have their own Ethereum virtual machine, their own Ethereum blockchain bolted on the side. It's a Layer 1 called Hyper EVM. And why this is important for anyone who's curious about this is because the perp dex part's great, right? That puts, in my opinion, that just puts it on the wall that CEXs are on notice, because you don't have to. You can use self custody, and in the case of groups like Lighter that it just launched on Monday, uh, the ability to even have zero knowledge proofs involved with the operations of your perp dex. So there's two things about this. Um, Perps are interesting because they're derivative assets. You don't own them in kind yet. Now they have spot markets on Hypercore. That could be interesting. They've been testing all kinds of things. Keiko's given us the alpha all year on this specifically because he works at Pith, which is an Oracle. They're the accountant for the U.S. government now, along with Chainlink. Uh, and what's interesting about the moves here is that Hyperliquid has a very specific roadmap on how people are going to be able to use perps for a variety of different exposures, right? So there's the difference between actually owning an asset spot or actually having a perp, which is just exposure to that spot asset. For some people, they would rather just have the exposure. Some people would want the spot asset. I get that. CXs, I think, will still be valid for that, but once they start bringing these on chain with tokenized stocks, I think a lot of this changes. So what's great about Hyper EVM is that anything that's on Hypercore is accessible through Hyper EVM through DeFi rails. So you can hedge, take out loans against any asset in Hypercore. Uh, there's that piece, and then there's just all these liquidity things that you can do thanks to that. We also saw the blow up of Aster. Aster is from, it's an older platform on BNB chain. It got picked up, backed by YZ Labs, which is CZ's specific VC fund, and it became pretty hot because ultimately GMX, DYDX synthetics, they definitely know that their lunch got eaten by Hyperliquid. Aster didn't want that to happen, so Aster came up. They were huge. Avantis is on base, which didn't have an actual perp dex on base until Avantis came through. Then we have Lighter, which is TGE'd. We also have Variational. Shout out to Max and the team at Variational. We also have VDEX. VDEX, we had Jose from VDEX on, in the second half of this year. Shout out to that team, where they're actually a more of a dark pool peer-to-peer perp dex. So you can use it without worrying about where your KYC is. There's no KYC at all, actually. So, and then of course we have everything in BitTensor. So we have OX markets from the guys here at Taushi. So there's a lot of interesting things that are happening when it comes to perpetual derivative assets. So Ken, I'll start with you. Based on your thoughts on just the growth of perp dexes this year, how they are like prediction markets, part of the larger meta that's going to bring more retail users hopefully into this space outside of this CEX. You got a front row seat to all of this. So, working on Taushi with all of that. So, just kind of give me your thoughts on how you think the year has gone for perp dexes and where you think this will probably end up at some point.
Everyone wants a piece of this. It's definitely, we thought we were, which we are, we're early, at Taushi with 0x Markets, which we're super excited about. I'm working on that myself, well, with the team, of course. Just been so much interest in it, and Hyperliquid starting all of it. I think everyone wants a piece of the pie, and there's so much interest. I think there's still probably some innovation that's going to happen in that regards, and we're going to see a lot of things coming in 2026. But yeah, it's massive, and a lot of people are trying to be a part of it, and I'm excited for what we're building at Taushi. We ourselves are seeing a lot of interest, a lot of people pinging us. So I'm excited for it. And hopefully we can bring something to the table at Taushi with 0x Markets that's a little bit innovative with the BitTensor subnets tying into these things as well too. So yet to be seen, but I think we have something good that we're gonna bring to the table. But yeah, there's a lot of interest in perp dexes.
Do you think that perps are the future of trading? I just want to throw that out there with you just building all of this.
I do. Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and I think we'll see a lot more clarity next year. But it's I haven't been as I mean, I'm building a Dex, but I haven't myself been as actively in the trading side of things as I would like to. But a lot of the people that I'm rubbing shoulders with, and a lot of the interest that I'm seeing in the conversations behind closed doors. There's just so much interest in it, and so many people using these things, and I do think it's the future.
Yeah. So Robert, I mean, I think the reason why there's still going to be just such a huge, just a huge run into perps is what happened, specifically on October 10th, what we call Black Friday, right? For people who don't know what happened on October 10th, trying to find the
It was like
exact tweet that I had
1987.
on there. What's that?
It was like 1987, right?
It was. Essentially we had a bunch of, manipulation events happen that caused CEX order books to clog. I mean, Binance clogged because of a DPEG that was created for USDE, which is Athena. Newsflash, not a whole lot of liquidity of USDE is on Binance, so it doesn't take much to depeg it. To be quite honest, most of that's in the EVM or Ethereum space. That doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of exposure out there to it, because you can easily get the USDE and ENA, which is Athena's governance token, uh, at multiple CEXs. So seeing that happen, I mean, to the point where, Coinbase kind of scratched their head as to why are we having this problem? People getting liquidated, market makers literally pausing because they were is just the ultimate disaster scenario. I guess that would be. Caught a lot of people with their pants down, right? Let's be honest. There are a lot of people. We know a lot of people that lost 6, 7 figures, 8, 9 figures in October 10th. Perp dexes the exception to a degree. Of course, there was going to be some movement up and down because of the flash crashing, but there were a lot of liquidations, a lot of DeFi things. They worked flawlessly. They worked as designed, with no issues, which I thought was very apropos. But no one wanted to talk about it. But let's just talk about that for a second, because you saw that front row too. So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I had some positions up in a hyperliquid that got liquidated.
yeah,
I mean, everyone got liquidated. If you were anything over 2x, you got liquidated basically.
yeah.
Even that, you probably got liquidated actually. What I was gonna ask you, what was the term, or the functionality that they use, or that they described for?
Auto deleveraging.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so that was kind of the big scandal, right? Was that didn't quite work as designed.
Correct. Right. And it works in DeFi. It works fine. There's a couple of different protocols that have ADL. And what that does is it actually prevents you from being completely wiped out, because what they'll do is if you're in a leveraged position, they'll automatically take your position down and charge you a penalty. So you don't get fully liquidated. They'll take you down to a safe area so that you're not actually in a situation where you're paying, where you're just getting
Hmm.
liquidated and upside down. So it's meant to be a kill switch to a degree, right? Like on Wall
Yeah.
Street, they have SSR, they have SSRs. Uh, Essentially, just in the event that something is too volatile, like what 10% up and down, they'll halt the stock for a moment, so it enters a calm zone of some sort until that buy sell
Right.
wall kind of returns. Um, yeah.
But the big scandal was that, like, for exchanges like Binance,
Hmm.
who might have colluded with, I mean, it's unclear if they colluded with like Wintermute, or who was the
Right.
market
Big
maker?
market makers, yeah. Well, like
Yeah.
Wintermute,
Or
TSR.
if it was,
Yeah.
or if Wintermute was a victim of it.
Yeah.
But like, because there's so much liquidity on those centralized exchanges, if they don't implement the auto deleveraging properly, uh, then it crushes the perp dexes too, because
To a
at
degree,
the same
yes.
time,
But the,
yeah.
the
So like that's
difference
why,
was is that the rails were so much cleaner in DeFi than they were on the CX level.
but they still wick down just as bad.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. So that's why, yeah. If all the liquidity's on the sexes, and there's something shady going on there, and it wicks down to like nearly zero,
Yeah.
it's not, it doesn't matter how sound the dexes are, that they're
Hmm.
still gonna be hit the same, right?
Well, we saw that, right? For some reason there's a wick down to 25K on Bitcoin. What, on Christmas Day or something like that? I think is what we saw, and
Was
it
there?
yeah, it recovered quickly, but at one point there was like
Mhm.
a wick down to like 25K. Um, yeah, so
But
it's
it but
good.
it, but
It's
it, but
it's
it, but it,
unfortunate.
may, it makes investors lose confidence,
Exactly.
in, because they're like, well, if this can happen, regardless of what the reason is, like, it just dramatically increases, it totally shifts the whole risk reward calculation, because you're like, if this risk is ever present, then how can I really get back in? And that's why, like, for the past few months, you've seen people back off, like you haven't seen. That's why the market just kind of floundered at the end of the year here, right? Because, like, it's gonna take quite a fair bit of time for investor confidence to come back after an event like that. Um, and I think there was no clear explanation as to why it happened.
Hmm.
So, people have to regain confidence.
And we probably will never get one, to be honest. Yeah. Well, I wanted to go ahead and just kind of, we're past the hour. I just wanted to, of course, thanks to Robert, to Ken for being here today on this last day of 2025. Um, Before we head to to wrap up and just kind of give our thoughts on what we think it's going to be in 2026, I did want to play. I do have the video, so This is what was supposed to play at the beginning, and I forgot to cue it up. And I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah,
Ooh. Whoa.
Nice.
Smooth.
it was pretty smooth, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway,
There's no
cool.
sound, but
oh, there was no
the
sound.
visuals are
Damn,
cool.
I didn't.
Nah.
I didn't. It's like a lo-fi kind of little
Yeah.
groovy thing on the bottom. Damn, I thought I had sound. Must not be playing
I was,
sound.
I was I was imagining like a dubstep drop, like
It was. It's kind of like a fountain, kind of dun dun dun, and then like the signal going through the core, like shh,
Nice.
and
Man.
then more of like little lo-fi elevator music in the background. As it plays.
hearing you hum it is just as good.
I think so. I think I'll re-record it. I'll just do it live every time.
With your voice. Dum, dum, dum.
Robert, have you played any shows in Europe?
Any? Oh yeah, I have a few. Yeah, I played a pretty cool party in Vienna when I was there.
Man, next time you go and you're playing a show, let me know. I will fly over there just for that.
Well,
Yeah, why not? Or come-
he
or
has
just
some.
come back.
You have some sets, right?
I sent him one.
Oh, nice. But you have some on your
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
channel. That was recent, right?
Yeah, I sent him the most recent one.
Okay,
Shoot, I'd film it too. That would be awesome.
that
Man,
would be awesome.
I'd love to film that. Yeah.
Or just come to Mexico City.
Wait. You're living in Mexico City right now? I probably know this already. You probably told me or I heard this.
You guys have been on 6 panels together. And you didn't know he was in Mexico City.
I love Mexico City,
Yeah, I've been here.
man. I was just telling my wife about it.
Yeah, I've been here for 10 years.
What? Oh, come on. Entonces tú hablas español.
Hey,
Sí, claro.
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 I did a little bit of a stint in DR and I've been down to Mexico City quite a bit, man. But I want to venture out in Mexico City to you stay in like the La Condesa, that adjacent neighborhood too, that the popular tourist city. But I need to get to the nitty gritty of Mexico City, man. So
I can give you a tour for
I'm
sure.
sure you've. Oh man, come on. All right. Well, I'll message you afterwards. I might be
Nice,
making a trip
nice.
down there sooner or later.
Nice.
Nice. Let's do it.
Interesting. Bitcoin just flashed its 5th golden cross. What?
It's time. We did it with this podcast.
Yep. It was
Really?
the good luck charm.
I mean, I don't have.
What's
have any
the other
indicators here.
neighborhood? You got La
It's,
Condesa
Roma.
and then what?
La Roma.
Yeah, Roma.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
I mean,
close to
it's,
any of those, or are you
yeah.
in like?
Yeah, I'm like a little bit south. Like there's like Roma, and then there's like Roma Sur, like and then there's like a freeway, and then I live like under there, like in Del Valle. Which is
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Man,
like
jealous.
a 30-minute walk or like 10-minute drive, 10-minute Uber trip.
Yeah. All the trees. Gorgeous city, man. Gorgeous city.
Actually, yeah, it's actually
I'll
really
have to
green.
visit sometime.
Like
Yeah.
you
Super
should
green.
for sure. Yeah. Actually,
Flying into it is wild.
we're still alive, right?
Yeah, we're still alive. Are we going to Denver this in 2026?
I want to. I think I will.
I mean, I have
for
a
sure.
free ticket because I'm part of the Spork Whale DAO, but I'm probably going because it's not that far.
I'm
Are
not
there
sure. I definitely.
any conferences you guys are looking at going to next year?
Yes.
I hope is
Exploit.
Endgame happening again?
I'm not sure about Endgame. I would assume so, but there is. I think the Open Tensor Foundation is actually putting on their own conference, Exploit, in San Francisco.
Oh, I'm down for that.
That's like.
Yeah.
I was just gonna message you, Chris. I think that's end of March actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I can.
so-
I think I can do that. Are there any conferences you
100%
haven't been to
gonna
that
go
you'd
to
like to go to? For me personally, I want to go to Breakpoint. That'll be right now it's in London, but in November, so we'll see if that's going to happen. Dev
I wanna
Connect
go to
is going to
this-
be in Mumbai.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Mhm.
Mumbai?
Yep. It was in Argentina. DevCon was last year in Buenos Aires. Um,
And it looked like I saw all the posts about DevCon in
mhm.
Buenos Aires, and it looked awesome.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. Um, Definitely, I don't think I'll go to Token, but I will go to. I do want to hit Korea Blockchain Week. That I think if I can do Korea
Yeah,
Blockchain Week
yeah,
and Tokyo Blockchain Week, I'll be pretty happy.
yeah.
Those will be the ones I definitely want to hit up, and I definitely want to go to. You know, I wouldn't. I don't think I'll have the time because it's only 3 weeks away. If they do Catstanbul again, which actually it's going to be in Amsterdam, if I'm not mistaken. Yes,
Uh,
it's going to be it's going to be in
oh,
Amsterdam.
interesting.
That's not that far away. That'll be an interesting play. But let's go ahead and
Yeah.
go with thoughts about 2026. If there's any trends that you think are going to kind of rise up and be good for people to consider now, looking into, what do you think that might be? We'll start with you, Ken.
Oh, that's a hard one. Oh man. Um, I mean, that's a hard one to say. I still think AI is still. I mean, you got to keep innovating with AI. Or I mean, it's still moving so fast. I don't see how it's going to be, how it's going to slow down. So I think there's still some stuff with AI, obviously, that's gonna present itself in 2026. So wherever you just gotta follow the trends, follow the voices, and see where things land. But I still think there's this AI agent crypto thing, perk dex thing that is gonna continue just to be this behemoth, and people want to. I think eyes are still there, so people are still gonna innovate. So I think we're still gonna see some major plays, major things come out, and hopefully more clarity as well. But I definitely, I am in the ecosystem, but I think BitTensor is at a point, has hit that point of where it's gonna do something. Where they did have their having, so something I think it'll. It's hard to say, but I think it's terminal velocity. With so many interests
Mm.
and so many eyes, I think it's just going to do something. And I think for the upside, I don't want to say financially, but I think somewhere we're gonna find some clarity, some upside. Maybe not financially, but some maybe a subnet's also gonna land somewhere. And BitTensor's not just AI. I kind of get frustrated when they just coin it as AI. There's AI in it, which is fascinating. But yeah, I think all of the, I mean, things we've been talking about on this show. I think TVL, also pay attention to TVL, and you'll find some, stuff coming out of that that's gonna give some clarity on where we're headed. But definitely AI, perp dexes, AI agents, all that stuff,
Hmm.
stable coins. Yeah,
Completely agree. I mean, it'll be interesting, with Tau having their first halving. What does the post halving year look like, right? Because not only do you have uh, the canonical bridge with Chainlink now that takes all of the liquidity availability from BitTensor EVM over to Base and Ethereum mainnet.
yeah, yeah,
You have you there's the ties there with Swift now coming through with Chainlink as well. So there's a lot of things that can happen. I think from a standpoint of BitTensor being like the internet for AI super commodities, right? If you can think of an idea that could be AI modeled, you'll find it on BitTensor,
yeah,
which I think is going to be great. Yeah, though
yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's spot on. So, Robert, what about you, sir? What do you think will be the big thing that people that should be looking into for 2026?
Yeah, I agree with everything Ken said. I think BitTensor and especially subnets will get bigger exposure through like the was it General Tao Ventures?
Yeah.
What was it project? I forget the name of it, but it's like it's where they expand liquidity to different chains
It's
and can get a
Project
better.
Rubicon.
That's right, yeah, Project Rubicon. That's one big thing to keep an eye on. BitTensor keep continuing to grow. Yeah, I think DeFi will become actually DeFi will become actually useful. Yeah, and perp dexes, prediction markets will continue to grow. Uh, I think tokenization will be interesting to watch,
Yep.
and real world assets, like how that part of the industry grows. and actually takes hold. I think probably the Clarity Act will provide a lot of clarity on these things,
No
like
pun intended.
yeah, further clarity on stablecoins and tokenization and DeFi. So I think once that passes, it'll, a lot of money will flood into the market, and that'll lead to a lot of interesting outcomes in terms of products and how these sectors grow. So
You know what's also interesting too is, um, as a developer, I use coding agents. It's crazy now. I'm like two developers, 1.5 developer. So I think there's still a lot of innovation in this. Might necessarily not be crypto, but it definitely is AI. There's a lot of innovation in these coding agents now. How that could tie into crypto? You have some like Ridge's AI who's using BitTensor for coding and problem solving. But I think 2026, we're still the developers might be the death of the developer. Um, I,
Wow.
I, I, I don't know, man. I'm using these coding agents left and right now. It's
Are you using Kimmy K2?
phenomenal. No, I need to look at more other than
Yeah, check out
Claude
Kimmy.
Code.
Check out Kimmy.
Crazy, man,
KIMI
crazy.
K2.
KIMI. But yeah, I just wanted to mention, yeah, I think these coding agents, they're really taking over. I myself have used them. The sad thing is, it's kind of killing the market for juniors. But if you're a
Yeah.
senior developer, you become like you have, what do they call it? A coding partner. So it's
Yeah.
phenomenal.
It's kind of like pair programming in a way, right? If you think about it that
Pair
way.
programming, yeah,
I think it's
yeah,
a good way to consider it, especially if you pair and replit and you're just kind of throwing together some things just to see how it outputs without having to do an out dot print line type deal.
it's
Um,
crazy.
I know, right? It's great. Uh, so I do think that this could be the year of BitTensor. Um, we've been bullish on BitTensor for an entire year, and I do think that this is going to be a very interesting development. Because Grayscale did file for a Form 10, but now that they're doing an ETP with that on top of that, I think it's going to be interesting. I think the movement. The thing is it doesn't take much to really just get a whole lot of things moving on BitTensor. So there's one thing that I think is missing from BitTensor that I think will probably cause it to be like lightning in a bottle, and I think that's privacy. I know there are subnets that are working on this, but I think once that comes through and seeing how privacy can be wrapped around this, it was it Naval? No, it was Balaji, who said earlier that the privacy meta is 2025 till whenever 2030 something. I'm not a huge subscriber to that, but I do think now that institutions have come in and they've front run, they're going to be bringing all of their information on chain. We now have digital citizenship data on chain. I do think that privacy is going to be a big part of the narrative in 2026. Zcash, of course, that fun little manufactured pump that happened a couple months ago. Uh, you have full companies like Winklevoss's Cypherpunk that is now trying to get 5% of all of the Zcash that's in existence. We're going to need to see a lot more building, in my opinion, with regards to Zcash for that to be an interesting application. But with that said, I'm excited to see how this is going to work specifically. Like we talked about Lighter, they're a perp dex that uses ZK proofs. They have so you can do all that. We have VDEX, which uses dark pools and peer to peer with escrow. So that's another way to look at perp dexes. I think that's going to continue. I think um, we're going to see elements of what happens on chain in the regular culture and mainstream media. They're just not going to be called that. Kind of how Reddit called NFTs DCAs, digital collectible avatars, right? That was like 3 years ago on Polygon. Now, God, it's been that long. But we're gonna see a reframing of it to a degree that's going to make it so everything gets obfuscated into the background because we want to try to abstract all of that away from the user, right? We want normies, as we call them here, civilians, to be able to use this technology without knowing that they're using it. And X402 is going to drive that. Base pay even is going to drive that. And I think we're going to see a very interesting friendly competition between Base and Solana specifically. Now that there's a bridge that's been built between them, and there's been a lot of ugly bullshit being thrown between both of them, but they just all happened to be at Coinbase's December 17th in the front row clapping when they were talking about Solana. It's kind of crazy how this is all just there's a lot of stuff that's like for show, and there's a lot of stuff that people are coming together because they kind of have to. But there's other things that are happening besides Zcash, right? We have Midnight and Charles Hoskinson and Cardano. XRP has shown the most inflows on ETFs in the last week. Could we see finally the rise of XRP and Cardano in 2026? I sure hope so. There's going to be a lot of sad cab drivers and Uber drivers out there if that doesn't happen. But we're still early. And I know we've been saying this for 5 years now. we're early. But I do think that, we went from disruption now into integration. I think in 2026 will be a big year for integration with regards to RWAs, with tokenizing stocks, stable coins, and we're going to be here for all of it, guys. And excited to keep bringing you these panels, excited to keep, bringing you these fine men and women who will come onto the show and teach you more about what they work on specifically. So with that said, I wanted to say thank you again so much to both Ken and to Robert for being here. Robert, let's start with you, sir. Talisman Wallet. Talk to the people.
Yeah. Keep an eye on talisman.xyz at We Are Talisman on Twitter. X, sorry. And we're going to be launching some of the first DeFi AI features via Subnet 45, Talisman AI in the first quarter of this year. Keep an eye on that. Should be pretty exciting. And the first implementation is going to be subnet signals. So it's going to be, we're going to be basically tracking social sentiment on BitTensor subnets, on all the alpha tokens, and basically creating signals in the wallet that tell you when's a good time to buy or sell, for that matter. So, yeah.
That's good to know.
Should be pretty interesting. Yeah, should be pretty cool, actually. I mean, it's a really cool concept, and we're working with a really cool team in Rizzo as well, kind of helping us build up that dashboard. Actually, I should point this out that the dashboard is live. I think the first iteration of it. Yeah.
We have alphas.
Should I link? Yeah. Should I link that to you?
Yeah, put it here in the interview chat. I think there should be a window for that somewhere. Hopefully.
Is it guest chat? Guest chat?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I didn't know we had that.
There we go.
Yeah, check it out.
Let's put this up here right now. Let's put this up here right now.
So it's kind of the first. It's kind of like the.
Oh, this looks good, brother. Oh,
this looks awesome, man. Y'all snapped on this. What?
Yeah, this is really Rizzo's work here. Yeah, but with our input, for sure.
Ooh, I need to get on this sentiment feed.
Right.
Who do I need to talk to? What do I just need to talk about SN45? It's on.
Yeah, you gotta just it's picked up automatically. You know what I mean, through the algorithm that they put together. So.
Alpha signal flow analysis. That's interesting.
Nice.
Nice. This is good. No, this is really good. This is good ecosystem tool. So, like to see stuff like this.
Much needed.
So we're gonna.
My God, Talisman AI is $1.19 now. Man,
it's a bargain.
I know. But it's like
Yeah. So we're gonna basically it's not gonna be exactly this in the wallet, but it's gonna be some implementation of this in the wallet where you can. That'll be like signals. For trading signals for our users. So it should be pretty killer. Keep an eye out for it.
It's available on. It's all available on Base. It's available on ETH mainnet, I believe, and as well as on Coinbase. As I think Subnet 45 is the name of the actual token. Hopefully they fix that with Project Rubicon, but we'll see. It's also available thanks to Void AI on Solana as well. You can check them out.
Yeah, good people at Void.
Yeah, good people at Void.
Yeah, Void's cool. Void is cool. Yeah.
Well, Robert, happy New Year to you, brother. Thanks for being a huge part of this show. You have my infinite thanks, of course, for all that, and looking forward to hanging out again
Thank you,
soon.
sir. Yeah, happy New Year to you, and to
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Ken, and to everyone watching. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Kenneth, what's the frequency at Taoshi?
Yeah, man, we're working hard behind the scenes at Taoshi. We got Glitch coming here soon, which is our product on top of our signals. We're also working on Zero X Markets, which is our decentralized exchange on top of all that stuff too. Working with GTV, General Tile Ventures as well. So it's this Avengers combination of some powerful people in there. I myself have my hand in the pot, mucking around in those things too. So you know that the product will be good. But all in all, I'm excited for the future. But yeah, follow, look. I gotta plug them. Taosheet.io. Look them up. I'm also on Twitter, Raleigh_CA. All in all, I think like I said, humans through history, their things are changing. We're headed to something different. COVID came, and that had its hand in the trajectory of humankind, of course. And we could see this with the Black Plague. After that, times have changed. So I think we're in a time now where, who's to say, we're just in a transitionary period right now with AI, with crypto, with just so much stuff going on. Where we're living on these small little time bases. But of course, 100 years from now, 200 years from now, we'll be able to see kind of sort of what this time was. But yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. I think 2026 is going to be a lot of positive stuff coming out of it. Crypto, we're going to make a lot of more friends. We're going to keep our friendships together, see each other at these conferences. Just be mindful of the drinks. I remember we were in Austin with Chris, and we went over to this Mexican place. Whoo, and the drinks were strong, and
I
forgot the
didn't.
guy was even around that night.
I didn't drink.
um, that was a good time, though. That was a
That
good
was a good
time.
time.
But yeah, it was a good year, and to 2026, and happy to have met you guys. Well, I met you guys, I think, before, but we've kept our relationship going with the chats, with TVL and outside of TVL. So excited for what's to come, fellas.
Speaking of TVL, school.com/beacon. If you want to get your education on, join it. And yeah, learn everything that you have with tons of free content. I'm enjoying that transition, just kind of coming in from the bottom. But yeah, school.com/beacon if you want to learn more about what's going on. Well, gentlemen, this is the end of the show. Again, we went a little bit further on than I thought we were going to, but that's okay. I appreciate your time. Happy New Year to everybody. Thanks for being with us all throughout 2025. If you know anybody who wants to learn a little bit more about DeFi and getting on board with crypto, have them tune into my content. We're going to be bringing up with a lot more stuff for the next couple of months, working with some really great people to get the best information out to you that's going to be out there. So, with that said, take care, everybody. Have a great New Year's. Be safe. Don't do anything crazy. You say here, beacons up, banks down. Take care, everybody. Happy New Year.